The early bird catches the worm. That seems to be the Hawks' mantra as they got off to a flying start on Monday. They nabbed Nonhlanhla Mkhize, the Director General in the KwaZulu-Natal Premier's office, and 3 co-accused in relation to a 37 million rand water tender scandal. They all face charges of intimidation and defeating the ends of justice. The state alleges that Mkhize sent someone to threaten the chairperson of the Nkandla Water Board in a bid to stop an inquiry into alleged fraud relating to the tender. Minutes after Mkhize's arrest, the Hawks then confirmed that they'd also busted Brian Molefe and Anoj Singh. The 2 former Transnet and Eskom executives appeared in court a few hours later on several charges of fraud and corruption. Molefe and Singh are heavily linked to the controversial Gupta brothers and their previous underhanded control of the country's state-owned enterprises. The charges against the pair of former executives relate to a 93 million rand fraud and corruption case, linked to the purchase of 1,000 locomotives in 2015. Molefe and Singh were granted bail of 50,000 rand each. While the country was still processing those arrests, former President Jacob Zuma's legal and financial woes took a dramatic turn for the worst. On Tuesday, the High Court in Pietermaritzburg granted the liquidators of the VBS Mutual Bank a default judgment that allows them to seize 6.5 million rands worth of the former president's movable assets. The bank's liquidators sought the order after Zuma began defaulting on repayments on his 7.8 million rand loan in 2018. He took out the loan from VBS to settle debt with the state for non-security related upgrades built at his Nkandla homestead. While the liquidators may now seize some of Zuma's assets, they can't touch his homestead in Nkandla as it's built on land owned by the Ngonyama Trust. President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala saga also showed no signs of fading away this week. On Tuesday, the president refused to answer questions from members of parliament on the controversial robbery at his Phala Phala game farm. He insisted that he had been advised not to comment on the matter until law enforcement authorities have completed their investigations.
And the most appropriate response from my side is for the law to take its own course.
But some MPs simply weren't taking no for an answer.
We can't accept his explanation about law enforcement agencies and everything that he has stated. The purpose of asking questions, and we in Parliament follow a process whereby the NA table approves those questions. It is because we want answers.
After spending several nights in jail, Nonhlanhla Mkhize was back in the news on Friday, when she was released on 25,000 rand bail to cap off a week, where South Africans at least saw some movement in the country's fight against corruption and state capture. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Andersen in Johannesburg.